This is the final resting place for the Subaru. The Subaru is going to be no more. This car is not going to exist. This is the last place this car will exist as an actual car. But I am at Fellow's Speed Shop and they make Subaru powered Volkswagens, which is the coolest thing ever. So the fact that it's rusty and has a lot of wheel bearing and possibly diff noise, and the fact that I reversed it into a post isn't going to matter, because the only thing these guys want is the engine, and they're going to put the engine into a Volkswagen and the spirit of the Subaru will live on. So let's go and have a little look at what these guys do, because there's some really cool stuff in here. Another Ben, like Ben from the other Volkswagen place who I bought that Volvo off. Why are all Volkswagen people called Ben? I have no idea. Anyway, I've just turned up in my absolutely mint condition Subaru Impreza, factory fresh, as good as they come. And Ben's told me it's a load of rubbish. What's wrong with my Impreza, Ben?
The turrets are gone on the back.
The turrets are gone on the back. So you put your hand up there. I might be able to get the camera up there. Hang on, let me focus. There we go.
There's a big hole in there.
There's a big hole in there.
Back of it.
Oh, whoa! That's like a 6-8 inch hole. So, another Impreza that's come here to die. You're doing your bit in taking these old Imprezas off the road then, by rescuing them to make it focus on you.
I'm trying to make them actually work for everyone else.
Well,
they're alright until the car dies, but the engine's fine.
Yeah, brilliant. So, you guys have been running for what, 10 years?
Yeah,
when did you first start putting Subaru engines in Volkswagens?
15 years ago.
15 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 16 when we got.
Exactly. So you guys are basically, and you're like the go-to people for Subaru engines.
Yeah, mostly now. Yeah, we've been doing it because we've been doing it for so long. Like
yeah.
Custom base, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of just said, oh, you go there, you go there.
Yeah.
Works quite well.
Yeah, brilliant. So have you got anything exciting you can show me that you've got here at the moment that I can pop a camera on? That pickup looks pretty insane.
The pickup truck's a race truck that we're building.
A race truck, okay. So that's Subaru powered and what?
Yeah, it's got a 3 litre H6 on Gen V throttle bodies. And
yeah.
Full built back end, like with basically full coilover rear end, and then got like a similar to like a Mustang rear on it.
Yeah.
On the front, sorry. Mustang front suspension.
Mustang front suspension.
Similar.
So that's going to be a proper beast when it's done.
Yeah, it's about 300 brake and 300 foot of torque.
Yeah. And of all the builds you've done over the years, have you got a sort of personal favourite?
I mean, my own van's just gone out. That's one of my own favourite ones now.
Yeah.
That's
is that the one that I can get a lift back to the station in?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's got like a 2.5 in, and it's just an early bay. It's just been dialed in properly.
Yeah.
Everything's been rebuilt, sorted right, and I've been driving it around daily for a year, so it seems golden.
Excellent. And that's one of the things with this little Subaru engine. Yeah, it might be rusty, but it's a fun little engine, and I can see that from powering a camper van point of view, it's perfect.
But when you obviously delete everything off it, like the caps and pump, aircon, all that kind of gunk.
Yeah.
They're 126 on the book.
Yeah.
When you delete everything off, change the flywheel and everything as well, exhaust system's done properly, it opens up so much more on them. We've had them out on a dyno at 149 at the flywheel, so it completely changes it.
Brilliant. All right. Well, I'm glad it's going to a good home. I'm massively offended that you told me that the Subaru that I thought was brilliant is actually a rusty pile of crap. But as I said, I bought it, used it for 3 weeks, drove probably 1,000 miles, moved house with it, towed a trailer with it, and then reversed it into a post. And then sold it to you. The end of the Subaru. Can I keep the badges off the back? If you can get them off. Right, that's it. Let's have a look around. Yeah, give us a big reveal. That is a beast. When's this one going to be done?
Eventually.
Eventually. And how much sort of power is that putting out?
300 brake.
300.
About that.
So you've completely fabricated the rear end basically.
Yeah.
So it's that's full on.
Converted to basically coilovers and like all the box section, the chassis, the whole thing's been widened for the back end, so it
amazing.
works correctly. Subaru gearbox with race diff in it. And,
Yeah.
Well, it's got quave diff. And it's got JDM gears, so the short ratio between second, third and fourth.
Yeah.
All for basically lobbing it around the track.
Brilliant. As in track, so not just straight line, this is a track
this is
car.
a full track car.
Excellent.
It'll have a full roll cage in it, 4 bucket seats. It'll be converted to right and drive as well.
Yeah. Brilliant.
4-pot calipers all round. They're all 280 mil discs.
Yeah.
They're all cross-drilled and grooved as well. It'll be a hell of a little.
What are you going to do, colour scheme with it?
Don't know colours. I think
Yeah.
I might leave it fairly rough for a bit.
Yeah.
Just until we've dialed it in.
Yeah.
You never know.
Absolutely.
Nice car at the end of the day.
Yeah. It'll be a terrifying thing to drive.
The last one we built was 450 brakes. So,
Was it?
yeah.
Amazing.
That was a 2.1 hybrid turbo, stroker motor, everything like.
Yeah.
And this is another customer's van, just basically sorting everything out for him.
Yeah. What are those windows called? They've got a name, haven't they?
I don't know what those.
It's like jail bar windows or something.
No, this is an old, original Westphalia flip seat.
Yeah.
Bus, which is extremely rare.
Genuine early.
It's a
Yeah.
sub-hatch, genuine sub-hatch. So
Okay. So just explain what the sub-hatch bit means.
it's basically got popped up in just a metal flap in the rock.
Right, okay, so it's a smaller hatch.
Yeah. You see the roof?
Yeah. Hence the sub-hatch. Got you. Interesting. So yeah, there's not many of those around, are there?
They're really rare.
Are people still finding buses in fields and streams
They are,
but not
yeah.
to the degree that it...
No, they're slowly running out now. You're
Yeah.
basically ending up with more the scrappy rubbish that people have turned away in the past. Things that people have turned down that are now people are just buying anyway.
That's right.
People go to more extremes.
So cars aren't necessarily being added to the pool, but the quality of the pool is starting to improve. And as that happens, values, again...
Getting silly.
Exactly. Brilliant. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your split screen on a track. That's going to be brilliant. So you reckon about a month before that Subaru goes?
Probably something like that, about a month or so.
Exciting. Lovely. Well, thanks for letting me film in your workshop. I guess I should get a lift to the train station now. You're not having the badges. You only want the engine, right?
Yep, bloody right.
The badges.
It's just a 1970 early bag from California originally. It was originally like a school bus.
Yeah.
It's all original paint. That's then obviously been flatted and mopped and everything else with it. I drive it daily, so it gets dirty.
Yeah.
It ain't a show queen. And then it's got a 2.5 fully rebuilt Subaru motor.
So that's turbo or non-turbo?
Non-turbo.
Non-turbo. Wow. Clean.
You torque for towing basically.
Yeah.
And then just running like obviously Subaru pump and all sorts of little bits and pieces.
Brilliant.
Much longer modified VW bay box in it, and a few other bits, and obviously jazzed it all up as normal.
Yeah. Well, it looks great in the green. So this is my taxi to the train station, I think. Cool. I love that it's like, I'm guessing that it just came to you, with these marks on it. And
They were there, but it was all chalky white paint.
Yeah.
It was proper flat, been in the sun for 50 odd years kind of job.
Yeah.
So I've
Just
had to
honest.
basically completely wet and dry it all
Yeah.
around. Did the odd little repair here and there, but it did not want for anything really.
What about the interior? Have you done the interior?
Completely stripped the whole interior and started it again.
Oh, I'm going around the wrong side for the door.
It's nearly there.
Nice.
I use it all the time, so.
No, it's great. I think with camper vans, people can overcomplicate things and never take a shit where you sleep. So I don't understand anyone that wants to put a toilet or a shower in one of these, because the way I see it is if the weather's that bad that you need to shower and take your dumps inside, you shouldn't be camping. So I'm more of a day van sort of person. So that's perfect, that is.
That's it. It's basically a day van, and then it's got. There's a massive stereo in it, and all sorts, and then we've got we make our own brakes and stuff as well.
Okay.
So these have got 4-pot wheel woods on the front as well.
So full wheelwood setup.
Yeah, 4
Nice.
wheel wood setup on the front as well. So it's stops on the dime as well, really.
Brilliant. So if someone came to you with a bay that was a shell, what's the sort of cost to go from a shell to a Subaru engine, something like this? Not fully restored, you know, just mechanically good.
You know, anything from about 15, 20k, something like that. Fully rebuild one probably.
Yeah.
And then do a Subaru in it as well.
Which makes sense because then you've got a running and driving car that looks the part but is actually usable.
Yeah, and you can go anywhere in it.
Exactly. Love it. Right. Talking of going anywhere, let's go to the station.
All right. I'm running that road,
Yeah, I know, but like it's a small road, but like a camper van, an old bay shouldn't feel like that. Well, maybe it should, and that's the point. Like, that's the fun of it, isn't it? That's the fun of it. Yeah, you're not got much choice for decent roads down here, but I suppose you're not far off the dual carriageway, are you, sir? No,
there's a run in the sector that I'll do something with.
All right. That's brilliant. Yeah, cheeky, properly cheeky.
You get used to driving it, it's silly, so.
Yeah, I bet.
You know.
So when people drive down this road in their coughing and spluttering 1600 air-cooled camper van, and then they leave up the road with that, the reaction must be insane. You must get an email when they get home being like, that was the best drive ever.
Yeah, they do love it. And we end up doing things like the gearboxes and everything else. So it's just a complete world away from...
Yeah.
Obviously when they come in with no engine half the time.
Yeah.
Or one that's hanging out of everything.
Yeah, brilliant.
But yeah, it tends to work alright.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I should have twigged when I saw your surname this morning. I should have twigged buying a Subaru, and from round here I was like, oh. Well, I didn't twig until you mentioned where it was coming to, and I was like, oh, that's the guys. And then I was frantically trying to charge my phone because I knew I'd want to do some video and I'm up here, so my phone's going to die on the train home now. But no, that was cool. That was a good little day out. I love it when stuff like that happens and it's random, you know.
That's it. It's the best ones.
Brilliant. All right, I'll call that a day now. I'm just gonna. He doesn't realise that when we get to the train station, I'm going to bail him out. I'm going to nick this and I'm going down to grab my surfboards. Then I'm going to Newquay. But yeah, we'll see. Do you remember Run to the Sun back in the day?
I do know of it, yeah.
Run to the Sun, like 20 years ago when it was all Volkswagens. It was like an amazing Volkswagen show down in Newquay. But then what happened the one year was Max Power magazine basically ran like a full, like a guerrilla campaign to steal Run to the Sun from the Volkswagen people. And then suddenly it became all about like Max Power style cars, and it killed the event. But I remember when I was a kid going down to Cornwall, and if you went on Run to the Sun weekend, the entire M5 would be like a mile convoy of just like bay windows and splits.
Yeah, they do. It's like that still sometimes.
I have to check out Run to the Sun and see if it's still like that. But I think in the end the organisers moved the event to Brighton. If I'm
there's also like Camper Jam. Like if you go to Western Park, you queue all the way down there, but it's a good show.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
No, I love it. I remember I had a friend who lived in Newquay, and on Run to the Sun weekend we'd sit in his lounge and watch the boy racers getting pulled over, because the police would just sit and then they'd pull people over like into his road, and it was just like one after the next, all these like boy racers. It was funny how that event got ruined, but the show and shine used to be great, because that used to be a good show where people would they'd do like a big reveal. So if they'd been building something, it would then get revealed at
down at
Run to the Sun.
They used to do it at Bug Jam.
Bug Jam's another one, isn't it?
Another old school event. It's still at Santa Pod.
Tell you the one I remember, when I had a 65 Beetle, and I went to, I think, Vanfest in Malvern.
Yeah.
And this is probably 20 years ago. And there were some guys that turned up in a Frankenstein, you might remember this, there was a Frankenstein split screen panel van that they pulled out.
In red and blue.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
It's still around.
Is it still around?
I've seen that a couple of years ago.
And it was like, it was heavily raked.
Yeah.
It was really, really rough. It had round rear wheel arches.
Yeah.
And it just stuck. Yeah, that was it. And wasn't it something like they pulled it out of a field in Sweden like 72 hours before?
I don't know, but I know it's pretty ropey. I've seen it. It still rolls
around. Still around,
now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's still around.
I'm gonna have to see if I can put a picture of that on the video, because I remember that one from, I don't know, it pulled into the showground. Everyone was like, whoa. Why is that? Because it was angled. It was on a real steep rake.
Yeah. They're different.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah, it's a Jersey look like it's all cow looks like in the Beetles. But that's like the Jersey look.
The Jersey look.
With the cut out arches and the big bubble tyres on the rear.
Back in the days when they would have been like tour vans for. And that was the thing, in the day, people didn't buy Volkswagens because they were cool, they bought them because they were cheap.
Yeah.
So 60s and 70s California, they weren't cool, they were just available and like free and cheap.
But they weren't massive gas guzzling.
No, that's right.
American
it was the
cars.
equivalent of buying like a Citroen Zara Picasso today.
Yeah.
So maybe in 30 years time, we're going to be like slamming Citroen Zara Picassos and putting Subaru engines in. Probably not.
And putting air ride on them anyway.
Air ride on a Picasso. Anyway, now that we've got into air ride on a Picasso, I think we've gone too far. So that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Wonder if he realises he's got his engine hatch open. Oh well. Let's go home. Financials on the Subaru. I paid £585 for it. I used it for moving house, did about 1,000 miles, did nothing with it other than put some fuel in it, and then sold it to a fellow speed shop for 800 quid. So 200 and a bit pound profit, and I'm not gonna lie, I spent some of the money on a coffee and 3 Krispy Kreme donuts. Anyway, I guess thanks for watching. Geoff buys cars, always the highest quality, apart from when they're actually not, and they're like rusting away and stuff. But oh well, still made a bit of money. But most importantly, I had fun, and that is the most important bit. Cheers for watching.